Okay, so we are learning about the staff today, okay? So, like I said, we're repeating it because we need to repeat it for the video, but a staff is almost like a line of notebook paper. When you're reading in a book, you start up at the left-hand corner, and you go down like this, and it's the exact same with music, okay? But instead of reading on notebook paper, you read on a staff, okay? So, we need to learn learn the different pitches on the staff, okay? So each staff has 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 spaces in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we name the letters on the staff with letters of the alphabet, okay? So the first clef that we're going to talk about is called the treble clef. Everyone say treble clef.
Treble clef.
Okay, so the treble clef looks like this. Okay, and these are the instruments that read using a treble clef. Flute, clarinet, alto saxophone, trumpet, percussion, and I think that's it. So raise your hand if that's you. Good, that's everybody except for trombones and baritone in here, okay? So let's learn how to read off the staff. So, again, we have 5 lines and 4 spaces. Let's look at the spaces first. The spaces spell F, A, C, E. What does that say? Face. Face. So if you see a note that's right here on this bottom line, then you know it's an F. If you see a note that's here on this line, it's an A. If in this space it's a C, or this space it's an E, right? Now, let's learn the names of the lines. Okay, you have E, G, B, D, and F. Okay, and this is how you remember it. You remember it by saying, every good boy does fine. Has anyone ever heard that before? 2 people have. Every good boy does fine, okay? So that's how you can remember that. Now, if you notice, okay, we only use certain letters of the alphabet. We use A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? So that's 7 letters of the alphabet, okay? These are the only letters that you use. And then after you get to G, it starts back over. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? And if you notice, and we're going to put them together, so I have them separated out. I have spaces separated out and lines separated out. If you go in order, like line space, line space, line space, it spells the alphabet. So you have E, you start down here, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Do y'all see how that works? You see how the letters kind of repeat themselves? All right, so I'm going to erase this, and then let's practice a couple of notes here, okay? Let's say that I have a whole note right here. What letter of the alphabet, what letter does it get? Someone that plays treble clef, tell me. Samuel.
G.
G, okay? This is a G because it's on the G line. Good, okay? Let's say we have a quarter note right here. What letter is that? What note is that, Nicholas?
D.
Not D, because D is a line. What's in this space?
Oh. C.
C, okay? So this is a C, so let's label this G. C, good, okay? Let's have a half note right here. Okay, Blake. A, good. Okay, let's put a couple of eighth notes right here. What note is that? Carly? F, good. Okay, so this is F. Do we understand how to label the treble clef?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so now let's look at bass clef, okay? So bass clef, and we're going to change colors here. You read bass clef if you play the trombone, the baritone, or the tuba. So those are our three instruments: trombone, baritone, and tuba. Okay, they read bass clef, and the bass clef looks like this. Okay, we're going to use purple for bass clef. Okay, now let's name our spaces for bass clef. You have A, C, E, G. Okay? And bass clef people, the way you remember it is by saying all cows eat grass. Say all cows eat grass. All cows eat grass. Okay, good. Now, let's look at our spaces. You have G, B, D, F, and A, okay? And the way that you would remember that is good boys do fine always. So it's kind of backwards or different. It's a little bit out of order than everybody else, okay? Good boys do fine always. And just like the bass clef, just like the treble clef, the notes start over. They go in order. If you were to go up spaces and lines completely in order, it would go in order of the alphabet. You have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So do you guys see how if you go in order, all you're doing is you're repeating the alphabet? Okay, good. So let's practice some bass clef. So let me raise your hand if you read bass clef. Raise your hand if you read bass clef. Nice and high, nice and high. Uh-huh. And Juana, you read bass clef. Okay? So let's do some practice. Okay, so let's say I have a whole note right here. Can y'all see? Yes. Okay. If we've got a whole note right there, bass clef people, what note is that? Okay. E. Good. Okay. Because E is in this little space right here. E. Good. All right. Let's take a quarter note up here. Jacob, what note would that be? Huh? A. Good. Okay, it's an A. Good. All right, how about, let's take a half note. Let's put it down here. Okay. Whew. What would that be? Juana, what note would that be? Do you need to come sit right here for right now? Do you see what it is? You've got a note on the bottom line. What letter is on the bottom line? G. G, good, okay, so it's a G. All right, and then let's do one more. Let's do a couple of eighth notes right here. What notes would those be? Isaiah?
C.
C. Those are two C's, okay? So does this make sense? Mm-hmm. It does, okay? So you have different things. Now, how high or how low the notes are on the staff, that is relating to pitch. Everyone say pitch. Pitch. Pitch, I'm going to change colors again. Pitch is talking about how high or how low your sounds are, okay? Hi, buddy. How are you?
11.
All right, now, I've got a question for you. If you have a note up here, let's say you have two notes. You've got this one, and then you've got this one. You've got an F up the top, and then you've got an F at the bottom. Which one is going to sound higher? The first note or the second note? Juliana?
The first note?
The first note, okay? The higher it is on the staff, the higher it's going to sound. Now let me play right here on the xylophone, okay? So you may have to follow me, Julia. You can follow me. Good job. Okay, so let me show you what this sounds like. I'm going to play the first note first, and then play the second note. Okay, so this is the first note, this is the high F, and this is the low F. You see how the higher the pitch is on the staff, the higher it sounds? Good, okay, so that is pitch. All right, so that concludes our note naming activity. Let's go ahead and review which instruments learned from each clef. All right, what instruments learn from the treble clef? Raise your hand and tell me. Someone raise their hand. Shaylin.
The clarinet, the flute, wait, yeah.
Yep, we have flute, clarinet. What else? Juliana?
Saxophone?
Saxophone. Saxophone. What else? Blake?
Trumpet.
Trumpet. And then one more. What's the last one? Samuel, what's the last one? Percussion. Okay, so if you're a percussionist, you learn treble clef. Okay? Okay, so if you play any of these instruments that are listed in green up top, you will read using a treble clef. Okay? Now let's remember who reads music using the bass clef. Kaden.
Wait,
What instruments read using the bass clef?
Trombone, baritone, and tuba.
Yes, trombone. Baritone. And the tuba. Excellent. All right. So that concludes our note naming lesson. Juliana, you can go and turn it off.
Bye.